Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's,
Hey guys.
how are you? How's everyone today?
Hey, how's it going? Do I sound really bad right now? I'm in the vehicle, so
No, it's fine. I think still decent. No real problems.
cool, awesome.
I guess we'll just wait a bit for some people to come up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start at 3:05 p.m. Eastern. Roughly 2 minutes. Let's let some more people join. I'm gonna add everyone on my Discord and stuff like that.
Yep, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll just wait for a few people to join, and we can begin in a couple of minutes.
Hey, Ollie, can you tell Helly to join? I'm driving, so I'm trying not too much to text right now.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I hope everyone's doing good, by the way. Welcome to the space. We're going to have a really chill space with SVS. I'm a big fan of their project. We're going to be talking about SVS and what they're doing, and then a little bit of the Llamaverse stuff. So thank you guys for coming in, and then we'll obviously take some people up to ask some questions.
Sure, sounds good. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Let's give it one more minute. I'm just waiting for
sounds
Helly.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure thing. Yep, sounds good. Always exciting to do this. These spaces. Always cool to interact with new communities as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really fun just to see what other projects are doing because I feel like we're just like in a super fast-paced space that sometimes we don't get time to like see what people that have been around for months, what they're doing, and it's gonna be an awesome space for myself as well to like learn more.
Yeah, Helly says he's coming.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, Helly is traveling right now, so a little.
That's fine. We can just start it, and he can obviously catch up and add his input and introduce himself when he comes in. So yeah, let's start with some introductions. Let's start with the SVS account. I don't know who's managing that, but if you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll go down the line.
Yeah, so I'll just do a brief introduction, and then Ryan, who is on the SVS account, will kind of fill some gaps and tie the knot when I'm done. So I'm just going to go a little bit brief. First of all, super excited to be here. Thank you guys for hosting these spaces. We've been trying to do at least 2 tour spaces a week with other projects or other big people in the NFT space. And you guys are very prominent in the scene, and we're super grateful to be able to interact with your community and touch bases and share our experiences and some knowledge across, right? So SVS, we are obviously an NFT project, profile picture project, which we minted about 5-6 months ago. There's 8,888 amps, and we completed our first initial roadmap pretty quickly after we minted. So since then, we have had like the launch of our blood token, staking, Gen 1 companions, which are the bats, and then we've had some, we keep working towards partnering with as many people in and out of the NFT space as possible, right? So, some of the key things that we have done so far is that we were the first NFT project to actually partner with, feature film company. We partnered with Paramount Pictures for the Scream movie in January. So that was super exciting for us. And, we've partnered with multiple other NFT projects. And obviously the key component of what we have coming up nowadays is, Gen 2. We have Gen 2 launching soon, which is going to be the female vampires, which is super exciting, for every male. We're going to be releasing the female vamps. So essentially, besides that, we also have the pixel vamps and we have 3D vamps, which will be launching soon. So I think I can let Ryan do a little bit more maybe on some parts of SVS, and then if you want, T can touch up a little bit more on the marketing side that we normally do.
Yeah, so I wanted to just touch a bit on the blood token as well, really, which you just mentioned briefly, which we released not long after our Gen 1 vamps back in October. This is where people can stake their vamps and they'll in return receive 3 blood per day for doing so. And as of 2022, that's been really our main focus on pushing utility for this blood token, so that people who've been accruing their blood over the last few months are able to spend it within the SVS ecosystem. So this month, as we just touched on, we've got the female vamps, the Vampiresses coming out. They're releasing on the 21st of February. And the Gen 1 holders who've been holding their vamps all along, they'll have their blood ready and they'll be able to receive a discount on their mint of their female vampire with this blood. And alongside this, we've also got the pixel vampires coming out, which we've been working really hard to get these pixel vamps integrated into as many metaverses, as many games as possible, so that people will be able to roam around as their vamp. So we're excited that they'll be able to be minted with blood as well. So even with these pixel vamps, there'll be no Ethereum involved. It's just purely with our blood token. So we think that's a really great addition that people will be able to get. And we've got more planned on our roadmap at the minute, including the blood token, including 3D models and things as well. So really, we're just excited for people to be able to spend their blood that they've been accruing over the last few months.
Yeah, that's fantastic. T, if you want to wrap things up, and then we'll introduce ourselves, and then we just kick it, have fun, and talk a little bit more about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brands.
Oh, sorry for cutting you off there. I think Twitter space is a little shaky right now. But yeah, absolutely. So as 2D kind of touched up on, and sort of Ryan as well, our two big things the big thing for our project is really innovation. Pushing the boundaries, doing things different, and sort of setting things for the scene, and sort of seeing how the scene progresses as well. And that's on two fronts, right? It's on the development end and the collaborative end as well. On the development end, staking our collabs, we had a collab with 888. It had a very nice burn mechanism. Our whitelist launch system, everything has just been a little bit, something new for the scene. It's all been a little, something new that we introduced. And we've been pushing ever since. Like we mentioned, the blood utility token. We have this whole system built out for raffles. Currently, it's just raffles that's public, where we give away whitelist spots through the dashboard, where our holders can enter those raffles with blood. But we do have auction systems and even like direct buy systems built in. So when we do decide to drop those, people are going to be able to enter auctions, or people are going to be able to bid for whitelists. People might just be able to buy certain things. The possibilities are really endless. So, the development end, we've been pushing that a lot. But then on the other end of things, like we touched up on the Scream collaboration, similarly to that, we collaborated with a Web2 brand. That's something that we found interesting, is really shaking hands with these Web2 brands and seeing how, Web2 and 3 brands can work together. Not only just, Web3. So Scream, and then similarly to Scream, another one that we've been working on is Champagne. We actually collaborated with Shammy Shin, who's the maker of the world's most expensive champagne. And that's almost, it's on the way. We've also have a couple other things up our sleeves. We've talked about we have some streetwear collabs coming up. With some skate brands and our Web3 brand or Web2 brands that are already established. And we do have a lot of other things, up our sleeves for 2022, but unfortunately, like a lot of things, we can't talk about them until, it's a little bit closer to the agreed upon date and all. So yeah, really, it's just pushing the boundaries for the scene, and, really seeing how, Web2 and Web3 brands can collaborate. And alongside even Web3 collaborations, we mentioned with the Pixel Vamps collaborating with all these different metaverses. Similarly, we have a strong list of partners in the space as well, that we're very proud of. And it's amazing. And the thing we get out of it is we like to see how, other projects also work and, build upon that and push, and, it's amazing for the scene. But yeah, that's just a little bit about, what we're about and all.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. And, a lot of the things you guys are doing are things that we're involving in our ecosystem, which is like the core focus is interoperability for users, but then also building everlasting utility. That's what I feel like you guys are going for. You're connecting with all these different brands, which is what we're doing as well. So that way users can use this one vampire in different ecosystems. So I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because that's essentially what we're all about, right? We're trying to build our entire ecosystem around the blood token, and essentially that's built around SVS and the vampires. But it doesn't have to always be like that, right? So something that we are working towards, and it's kind of like every time we do partner or collab with somebody, we try to integrate them into our ecosystem as well. As we try to integrate our SVS ecosystem into our partner projects, right? Because at the end of the day, with this scene, it's just all about essentially everyone coming together and helping out each other, right? And then trying to grow as a scene as a whole, which is what we think is the most important.
Yeah, absolutely. I talk about this all the time when it comes to like interoperability and collaborating with different builders. Is like you want to have your castle that has walls, but you need bridges to obviously allow different communities and different people in and out. And that's just such a important thing in this space is giving your holders a chance to be able to essentially get involved in different communities with their one NFT. So I mean, I love everything you guys are doing, from the Web2 partnerships to the blood token utility, all the way to integrating in like Pixelverse, WW3, which are basically things that we're doing as well. And I just feel like our visions are very similar, so I love it. But we'll do some of our introductions, and then we'll just have some questions. I want to learn more about SVS and the future as well. So
yeah, for sure. I was just gonna say it would be cool if you guys could introduce yourselves a little bit more to our community. I have our Discord open, and so many of them are super excited to be here and interact and listen to you guys. So it would be cool if you could share a little bit more about Llamaverse.
Cool, absolutely. And by the way, just to give you a heads up, Ollie over there, he's a huge vampire simp. So
yeah, I'm an OG vamp, I'd say.
Let's go. We do like the vamps.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of our community members hold vamps. So that's awesome. I've been looking at you guys for a while from the outside, and I just have so much respect that you guys put out this project and you guys just continue to build. So, but anyhow, yeah, I guess we'll do some short introduction of who I am and what our project is about, and then Helly and Ollie can kind of introduce themselves and expand on that. But we have a core focus on essentially interoperability and building utility upon our token for our holders for the long term. So we put out a development plan roughly 4 or 5 months ago, which is already almost done. We're introducing a whole marketplace, which allows you, it's all on Polygon, so there's no fees for our holders. We're going to cover all the fees via Matic. And it's essentially a place where you can stake your llamas and purchase whitelist opportunities, very similar to you guys, via raffles, auctions, insta-buy options, being able to buy layer 2 items that can be integrated in different games. And then we also have a breeding aspect. This is a game changer, is where essentially you can grab your llama, your spit token, and let's say we collab with somebody like Sappy Seals, you're able to breed like a spit seal, which gives you utility in both communities at very limited supply. So we have a really core focus on interoperability, and we just want to create as much value from our one NFT as possible. So our biggest value proposition is definitely the crossbreeding mechanism, because it's just never done before. Sorry, I'm driving, so I might sound like shit right now, but
no, it's quite clear, so there's no worries.
Oh, okay, no worries. Okay, cool. So yeah, we have a core focus on just interoperability and building value within our Spit token, and that's a whole summary of Llamaverse. We have our whole NFT world that's coming out here in a week, where people can find Easter eggs essentially and earn whitelist opportunities, ETH or layer 2 items that can be used in different games. So that's our core focus, and I'm not gonna expand on it too much, but yeah, that's what Llamaverse is. I've been in space for roughly 8 months, 9 months, and we've just been building ever since. So, Helly and Ollie, if you guys want to introduce yourself, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself. I'm Brother Ali. I'm the head of business relations for Llamaverse. So I deal with all the partnerships, anybody that kind of you see on the Twitter page. Usually, I'm working with them directly. So I did get to help set up this meeting. Shout out to Oinky. I don't know if he's listening right now, but that's my boy. Like Llama was saying earlier, I am an OG vamp as well. I hold number 15 and 16. I minted like as soon as it opened up, so that was a pretty crazy day. Big opportunity. Opened a lot more doors. I'd say like when I actually minted SVS was when I explored the space a ton more. I've been into NFTs for about over a year now, but really started to get into it about over the summer, I'd say. But yeah, really happy to be here. Really happy to learn more about what SVS is doing and tell you guys a bit more about Llamaverse as well.
Helly.
God, man, Ali always has those really good intros, and I'm always like, shit. Yeah, man. So, I'm Helly. I'm one of the co-founders of Llamaverse. I honestly like in my head, Ali always has that SVS profile picture. Like he may have the ape now, but in reality, in my head, it's always the SVS that he had. But yeah, so I do most of the development, or I'm actually on the side of development in Llamaverse. I did used to talk to partners quite a lot, but now I'm more focused on actually making the roadmap come to fruition. But yeah, I've been in the space for I think maybe 6 months now, give or take, but only really started getting into it, like actually investing after doing a bunch of research, which I think is actually the opposite of what people do. They just kind of ape in and then do research. But yeah, honestly, I think I haven't. I've always known the SBS around, but I've never actually, spent too much time looking like into them. So obviously, I know Oinky for quite a while, but it'll be really good to get to ask you guys questions and pick your brain today and see what we can do in the future together. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah. We can leave this as an open discussion, by the way. So let's just leave it chill. But I guess what we can do is, if you guys want to expand a little bit more on anything else, if not, we can take some questions so that way people can ask directly, specific questions about SVS.
Yeah, guys, it's good to actually get to talk to you guys, because I know we've been kind of going back and forth in the group chat for the last week or so. But no, Ali, that's amazing to hear that SVS was one of your first projects. And I think similarly with a lot of people, that's the case where SVS was their first project. Or even now we're seeing new vamps pop up every other day, and it's SVS is their first project. I think a big part of it is really just, I guess, the community and how everything is well laid out, and it's just easily digestible, and it isn't really too overwhelming. So yeah. Llama, I think that the breeding you mentioned, touching up on the collaborating with other partners for breeding, I think that's super interesting. First time I've ever seen something like that. Definitely it's first for the space, I feel like. And it must take a lot of time and effort as well. Doing the art and just coordinating with other projects. I know sometimes that can be difficult as well. So that's definitely a game changer.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, to expand on that, like I really appreciate the comments. Is it's just never done before. We're trying to establish as much utility to this token as possible, and a lot of this requires working with other communities to, grant both end users utility. So I just thought it was really cool because we collab with people anyways. We're being integrated in games, and vice versa. We're integrating our community and their community, add value. We're like, why don't we just make NFT that's breedable with either currency, and or maybe even both, and combine it to generate both utilities. So for example, partnering with somebody like Sappy Seals, for example, this is all example cases. Having a spit seal generate both pixel and spit, but you also get access to our Discord, our opportunities, our dashboard, but also their ecosystem, their game, and stuff like that. It's just such a game changer. You stake to earn, and then you're able to amplify those benefits even more.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it all being on Polygon, as you mentioned, and it being affordable is really good. We actually built out a bridge not too long ago. It was during the Scream collaboration, because the Blood contract, it was on Ethereum, and now we built a bridge for Polygon. So even all the I believe, if I'm speaking correctly, all the fees are covered on our end, right, 2D, for the
Yes,
Matic and all.
yeah, that is correct. Yeah, because we do know that obviously, as most NFTs, native NFT projects, especially the popular ones these days, and over time, it's always on Ethereum, right? So obviously that does have its drawbacks as well. Not everyone is super comfortable using Ethereum. Gas wars have been a large problem for a long time, right? So that's why we felt like we wanted SVS to be as we wanted SVS to be quote unquote as fair as possible, in the sense that we give everyone the same shot at being able to mint our project, regardless of your financial ability or freedom, right? So that's why we had that. We were actually one of the first few projects to actually do a launch without any gas war. So that was that was pretty cool. And then after that, shortly after, we started seeing more projects do the same system. But obviously that in itself does have its pros and cons. But it was cool to kind of build that stepping stone and that foundation for not only us but other people to kind of build upon as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
and,
Oh, fuck. Sorry. I have really bad service, so it's delayed. So I'm so sorry. You go.
Yeah, no worries. Just to add on to that, we did mention earlier how so if you do have a Gen 1 vampire, right, a sneaky vampire, you get automatic whitelist to the sneaky vampiresses, which are the female vampires. But then also, as Ryan touched up on the pixel vamps and the 3D models, if you do have a Gen 1, you're going to have access to those, and those are going to be a Polygon blood mint, meaning no Ethereum, but the assets themselves are going to still be on Ethereum. Like they're going to be on ETH. So, we're still maintaining that, which I just thought was a cool thing as well, just to add on to.
Yeah. You guys definitely set a standard for the space 6 months ago. 6 months ago, a cheap and affordable mint was just not there, and who knows, maybe it would have never came if you guys didn't do it. So huge respect for the innovative development there, and just really ensuring that these people that are going to be future holders are taken care of, and it just shows like who you guys are as a team.
Yeah,
It is really cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, because at the end of the day, all that we were like about in our ethos from the start was that we wanted to do things for our community, right? And that's actually how we came about. We were just a group of friends. We've known each other for quite a long time, actually. Me, Topcat, Ryan, Wolf, Freddie, the others. So we've been friends for quite a long time, and we thought, it would be cool if, we could, like partake in the NFT space and create a community that like not only us but like other people could bond around, right? So then it's kind of crazy, right? Because we were just thinking, damn, there's a lot of animals out there. Like you guys, Llamaverse, that's cool. It's not common, right? So especially back then, 6 months ago, what was it everywhere? Apes, cats, things like that. So we thought like, it would be cool if we did something a bit out of the norm, and like vampires would be so sick, right? Because it's like, that in itself, you have a whole ecosystem built around vampires, and then we can get like the male vamps, the bats, the female vamps, things like that, vampire hunters, and it has so much like history and pop culture, right? That it's so cool that you could build out a whole like universe around it, especially when you interact with other projects as well, you know. So I think like as we grow and the NFT scene grows, it's insane to see like what really is possible, especially when you like, you know, join forces and talk to other people and, you know, like partner up with other people like that. So I think it is cool to be able to, you know, share the stage with, you know, like-minded people like you guys.
And I think just to add on, I think when we move ahead and we know we integrate 1, 2, 3 communities, I think others are gonna see and, you know, follow, and that will just lead to like a big effect of just like all communities being close to each other. Because as you can imagine, you know, someone might want to be part of our community, your community, and let's say, I don't know, kaijus, but that's like the total price tag for that is so much. Whereas, you know, if they hold our NFT and they could purchase like a smaller, like a buddy version, which is, you know, a light version, let's say, that just gives them the ability to enter many communities.
I think
And see what they like, because
getting rugged.
Helly, you're getting rugged hard.
You're getting rugged in your connection.
Helly, there? You're getting rugged hard.
But like, oh no, I'm giving a
Helly, you got rugged. Yeah, you got rugged really hard.
Oh man, am I back now?
Yeah, I think
what you said was great.
we caught most of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I do think you know, having these, I guess, secondary collections that have a little bit of a lower point of entry, it's great for you know, other people to come into the ecosystem, right? Because a lot of the, you know, for the main Genesis is a lot of people get priced out for sure.
Yeah, and I mean it's
so that's great.
And I mean the way we're gonna do it is, you know, there won't be a mint price or a set price. It will just be, you know, whatever the community decides that, you know, gets these bodies. And I mean, even one of our community members is
I think we're getting rugged.
He was so close, you know.
has been talking about
so close.
like the idea of loading NFTs, which I
The rug is heavy.
Just try.
Ollie, if you can DM in Discord and let him know like he's getting rugged constantly. I don't think he can hear us, so if you can DM him very quick, and we can bring him back up to like obviously expand on that. I had a question with SVS. So with Gen 2, when is the Gen 2 release date again? So that way everybody knows.
The minting starts on the 21st for pre-sale.
Okay, fantastic. And you said on just so everybody knows, all the SVS holders are whitelisted, correct?
Yes, so you know, 8,888 are, you know, whitelist spots are dedicated to all the existing SVS holders, and then the rest we have given out to female-led communities like World of Women and a few others, and some other communities as well. And yeah, there will be hopefully be a public sale. We haven't yet disclosed the date of that, but just to be clear on the price also. I believe we haven't released, but it will be either. There's going to be two options. So it's either, you know, full Ethereum or Ethereum plus blood for a blood discount. So there's going to be, you know, quite a few options, and it just adds a little bit more utility to the, you know, the blood token.
Yeah, fantastic. I love it. Cool. Did we want to bring up people for questions, or did you have questions internally via text?
No, we can bring people up, but I also wanted to just touch up because I thought it was really interesting. While we're on the topic of collaborations, it's definitely, you know, really important because, you know, projects are actually very limited on, they get limited on what they can do after a certain period of time, right? And you might almost get to the sense where it's like if you move alone, you're not going to be as productive or progressive as if you were to work with these other communities. So I think that, you know, it's such a Web3 thing to do, right? Just being open and collaborating. And looking out for the entire scene rather than just, you know, your single project. So I just think that was a beautiful point to touch up on as well.
Yeah, and it's just so cool because we have the technology to actually do that. We're all on one system, one native system. It's not like we all have different databases of, information. We're all on blockchain, you know what I'm saying, mostly Ethereum, and we're able to grab this one asset, this one NFT, and be able to integrate that in many different communities. And it's very possible, and it's going to happen. And I truly think it's what's going to happen in the next 1 to 2 years. We're going to see a lot of communities coming together and working together working on a massive thing. So, especially in the metaverse aspects.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're just going in all different directions. So we'll see what, you know, what's next, really as we go, you know.
All right, boys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there.
Oh yeah, it's sounding much better.
Is that one better? Okay.
Yeah. For the most part, we understood what you said though. So
okay, yeah. As long as my point was kind of gotten across, I'm happy. Sorry about that. Yeah.
So yeah, one thing I wanted to ask: do you guys have plans to create any type of game? I think I was reading a little bit about it on I think OpenSea, but then I read a little bit more on your tweets how you're focused on integrating. So I wasn't sure if you're working on like a native game or if that's something you're looking to do with other partners.
Yeah, 2D, did you want to take this question?
Yeah, so we actually have had a native game planned out and announced from actually before we publicly opened the Discord, right? So this isn't like a play to earn game in the sense of what we see in the last couple of months, which is super popular in that sense. So when we released our first roadmap, we thought, obviously you can't guarantee the success of a project when you first release the roadmap, right? So we thought like, it would be cool alongside a conventional roadmap if we could add some value to our holders and like what other cool things could we do for people in the community. So, we actually got a game developer and we got like a custom, SVS game made, independent game. It's in open beta right now, if I'm not wrong, right, T? And essentially, it's just like a 2D side scroller, like endless combat type of game. And once the game is fully launched, we will do some cool stuff with it where we will be like every 2 weeks or so. We will take like leaderboard spots and we will airdrop them some cool prizes and, something like that. So I do think that, this small stuff that, it does add value. You have to hold, either a bat or a vamp to be able to play it. But essentially, that's one of the things that we did do recently with the game. We've been rolling it out. People in our community have been enjoying it. Personally, I've played it quite a bit. It's actually pretty fun, but if we talk about like the metaverse stuff and the pixelverse stuff, same with every other metaverse project, we just try to integrate as many as we can into other people's projects as well. We have been requested and asked if we would make our own metaverse and stuff like that. But we think right now expanding our reach into other communities and other spaces is what will be best utilized right now.
Yeah, I agree with that statement too. It's just cool because you're giving, similar to us as well and many other communities, is that we're giving people an option, and I think that's just such an important thing is like, oh cool, you don't like gaming, guess what, you can do, you can play in this metaverse that focuses on farming, or sorry, that was really poorly worded, but let's say you have two games, a farming game and like just a metaverse chat game, and you give people an option to choose where they want to go and how they want to spend their time with their NFT, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, and at the same time, we're still, we're sort of quote unquote investing in other projects as well, right? Introducing our communities and helping them grow as well. So, that's just on another collaborative front as well there.
Yeah, it's such a WAGMI thing, and it's just so cool.
Yeah,
and it really is WAGMI, so I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's what's most important, I think, in this space. That's why we're like, we're super bullish and we're super happy to kind of mix with these other projects, other people in the space, to these Twitter spaces with them, because you get to interact with each other's communities, each other's audience, and it's you never know what can come of it, right? There may be one person just listening in, and then something might click with them. They might like something about either a project or community, and then they might just want to learn more about NFTs and explore the space a little bit more, explore crypto a little bit more. And as for most of us here, I think we're crypto native, NFT native in the space. It has done a lot of good for us. It's done a lot of positive things for us. We've met a lot of good people. For majority of our experience, I would say, speaking for myself, has been extremely positive. You can make some incredible friends in space like this, even over the internet. I'm sure you guys know. And, it's good. It's always I'm always happy to see people encouraging each other and, progressing forward. And, I think crypto is an incredible space, especially the NFT space, because of the speed that things happen and how quick things actually, push through and follow through innovation, development, communities. And that's essentially what it is. If you have 10,000 of a collection, or 8,000, 7,000, 2,000, doesn't matter, right? Essentially, that is a modern day version of like a niche community, which, you have now entered by minting that project, right? And you can develop long-term friendships, you can grow with the project, grow with the people in the project. And I think, it is super cool to see what can, come about just from kind of interacting with other people over the internet.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, especially like during this whole Corona period, like a lot of people aren't getting to see their friends or their family or, go to work in, real environments. So, this whole NFT stuff and community is just so essential for people's mental health too. The amount of people I've met through this space is absolutely ridiculous. It would be impossible. I would have never met all the cool people from all types of different locations and doing all types of different occupations. If it wasn't for this space. So I love being here personally. There's a lot of like negativity in this space and a lot of bad things happening, but there's also a lot of good things that people can focus on. And a lot of this is just through community. So I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, couldn't have said it any better. I mean, and at the end of the day, these bad things are going to get weeded out, and really, it's going to be the guys who are legitimately here for the space that are going to last, right? So yeah, if we did want to bring up some hands, if Lama, if that was okay with you, I think Ryan could help out with that, since you're driving.
Yeah, because we can do like we'll do like 5-10 minutes of some people from the floor, just speak to them, hang out with them a little bit, and then I think we could probably just close it around there, right, Lama? If that's cool with you.
Yeah,
Oh, so I just wanna just honestly, this is game because you mentioned your game. There's a game called Vampire Survivor. I don't know if you guys heard. It's like an indie game that's coming out right now. I think if you guys do something along that premise, it would be honestly great. If you want to check that out. Honestly, when I saw it, it reminded me of you guys, and I was like, if I see your pixel like vampires, would be great. So just to add that in there real quick before we start doing questions.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the pixel ramps are super cool. We're super happy about them, and we can't wait to push them out for everyone to enjoy. So,
what was the name of the game, Helly?
I believe it's called Vampire Survivors. It's like a $3 Steam game. I heard really good things about it. It's like great.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Platformer. Yeah. Do check it out. Thank you. No worries, man. No worries. All right, should we bring some questions up?
Yeah, I think Ryan is going to bring some people up after you're done, Lama. You can just go on a little bit more, I guess.
All right. I'm like trying to think of something to say, but I have no idea what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm like, whenever I drive, I have bad ADHD. It's really hard for me to focus on like two things. So I'm like,
it's probably because you shouldn't be on Twitter Spaces while driving,
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
we
I think Ryan can bring some people up, and then we'll speak for like 5-10 minutes, and then we can go on from there, I think.
Yeah, I've just invited JT up. I see he's had his hand up for a while.
Hello, JT. You are muted, my friend.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Hey guys, pleasure to be on the Spaces with you guys. My question was for Lama.
Yes, sir.
Hey Lama, I was just wondering, when you first saw SVS, what did you think about them, and like what like stood out to you, and like now getting to know the project a little more, like what excites you, or like what are you looking forward about SVS?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So, I mean, we're in a space where things move 24/7, projects come up all the time. I'm looking at 20, 30 projects every day. So, I honestly slept on SVS. Like, after this AMA, I'm really going to do some research and look into it, and possibly get involved myself. But originally, like many, I feel like a lot of people knew SVS because I'm just gonna be honest. It was a BAYC artist information that was out, but I think after that, you guys did a really good job cultivating a really strong community, and that's one thing I recognized a month or two ago is like how strong your community was. And after this AMA, it's really interesting to me, specifically you guys are really focused on interoperability and providing utility to holders, and that's one thing that is our focus, so I'm already attracted to that.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously the Mig being the board ape artist was a huge thing for a lot of people, right? We can't deny that. That caught so many people's attention from the get-go. But not only does his art stand for himself, but we think the amount that we have put in, the amount of work that we've put in. We've been full-time since we minted out, since we launched, and the amount, like the speed, that things that we do push out, and how much effort we put in. Just like a lot of these other projects. It's good to see that, that people do recognize, some of the stuff we do. And it's the best part is being able to, connect with other people in the space, and, try to grow a community within the communities.
Yeah, but that's what's really impressive is like the fact that it started with one thing that may have brought many people in, but you guys turned it into much, much, much more with all the work you guys have been doing, and the community building and collaborating. So that's why I'm like really impressed. You guys didn't just depend on that. You guys just focused on working, putting your heads down, and building really cool shit. So I love it.
Thank you so much for the kind words. I think hopefully that answers the question, JT, and we can bring the next person. Now we're running out of time here anyway, so
Perfect. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming up and speaking to us.
Okay, I've brought up Sean. He should be connecting now. Here we go.
Hey,
Sir.
I appreciate you having me on here. Just a quick little background about myself. I started in the NFT space about a month ago, and NFT Llama was one of the first people I actually followed. And from there, I'm actually in the Llamaverse community, whitelisted to mint for the Llamaverse. Do not hold SVS, but I have a lot of respect for that project in particular. So my question is that is that I believe Llama posted about this, but in the IRS actually posted where you can stake, and what you stake, you don't get taxed on that until you actually, how I say it, you can stake it and you don't get taxed on that until you actually pull out and you either swap it for Ethereum or when you cash out. My question is, do you think that we're going to start seeing some of these pay to earn NFTs look towards a more long-term play as far as sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, so it's like I had everything in my head and I was like, crap.
No, it's cool. I understand the question.
Yeah.
I think I can speak a little bit before maybe Lama can speak. So, with stuff with the IRS, obviously, yes, I did see. I'm not American or native to the United States. Just a disclaimer for most people from SVS do know this. I live in Asia. I'm from Asia, but for the other people, I'm not American, so I may not be in the best position or stance to speak for this. But yeah, I did see the news. I do keep up with it, and then I did see that stake tokens, I think, is not taxable, right? If I'm not wrong. So with your question about play to earn and sustainability, and maybe because we do know that play to earn staking and these NFTs play to earn games are pretty fast paced. They tend to move really quick and then die just as quick, right? Sometimes it's some of them. So essentially, to answer your question is, I'm not sure if it's going to have that. Oh, Jesus, sorry, that was loud. I'm not sure if they're going to have that much of an impact after all, because not everyone in the crypto space is from America. So it depends. Not everybody falls into that category, right? And not everybody that is from the States is going to obey the rules. So yeah, I think maybe Llama can handle the rest.
Yeah, to be really clear with the tweet too. Also, you did fantastic asking the question. No worries. To be clear with the tweet, it was a case of somebody staking off a crypto token, and it was essentially a case. So it's not a law, but considering it's a case, it's potential that it can be a law. But the thing is usually you don't get taxed until you exchange that token to either Ethereum or whatever fiat currency. The same way is if you're passively earning a token, you're not taxed on that until you essentially cash out. So I don't think that's the whole bullet statement behind play to earn games. I just think play to earn games, like real play to earn games, is just going to be a massive opportunity. And to kind of add on to that, and then we'll wrap this question up. It's because especially with NFTs, a lot of these companies inside, outside in, like Epic Games, Steam. The reason why they're not doing NFT, play to earn gaming is because there's such a negative bias with NFTs. I don't know if you've seen companies change their profile picture to like a Bored Ape Yacht Club, but the whole comment is just people rioting, and it's impossible for somebody like Steam or Epic Games to get involved because they're going to face so much backlash. So I just think play to earn gaming has such a big opportunity internally, and I expect it to do really well. I don't know if that kind of covered your question, but regarding the whole taxes, I'd be obviously cautious. It was just them saying that this case is valid and you're not taxable on it.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Sean, for coming up and asking.
Yeah,
Really
thank you.
appreciate it.
And of course, thank you, NFT Llama, for your great community. In the Karaoke Night, and I believe it's Truth or Spit now, but it used to be Truth and Llama Paste. So,
I
so
love
yeah,
that name.
so yeah, thank you for the awesome community, and yeah, thank you guys for having me up.
Thank you for coming up.
I think the karaoke nights always have to be the most fun experiences in the space. The Llamaverse one was fun. I remember way back in SVS, there was the guy who was rapping about toes, and then the Miley Cyrus one, that was really fun too. If you know about the toes rap,
you remember
SVS that? OG. Yeah.
You know that is legendary. Damn, yeah, that means you're OG. I remember, so that was just me and some of the other co-founders. We were just chilling in voice chat in SVS before whitelist, and this guy said he wanted to perform a rap song, and I said, hey, if you rap about something, then I'll give him the whitelist, right? And then it's a shout out there, chat. Everyone's remembering it now. Yeah, that was crazy. That's actually insane that you remember that. Yeah, I remember. He rapped about his toes, and then he got a whitelist for it. It was insane. And then we had some concerts.
Peculiar way to get whitelist, in my opinion.
It is, he earned his spot. Lil Toes earned his spot for sure. So
yeah,
it was insane though. Everyone just going crazy for little concert night in voice chat.
We did a rap battle it was a few weeks ago. There were two individuals with the same name, both called Snowy. I think Snowy is actually in this space. So we made them do a rap battle against each other for the name, and it was actually a lot of fun. And then we threw up some beats as well. It was honestly great. I think it's those small community nights that that just build these memories that are quite important, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Because at the end of the day, it's just like what you're saying, right? It's just a community. Everyone is friends with each other. Everyone's just happy to hang out. So that's what's most important, I think.
Yeah, there's no judgment or shame or anything like that. Everyone's just chilling.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great. Should we bring someone else up? Is there more questions? Or?
Yeah, there's still quite a few hands. I've invited up Crypto Powers.
Perfect. That is a beautiful profile picture, I must say.
What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My thing cut out here.
Oh, you're super low.
Like super quiet.
Yeah.
Hello?
It's like you're very, very far away from your phone.
How about now, guys?
A
Yes,
little
bro.
better.
So my question was, if you hold a silver llama pass, and understand the passes will get you whitelisted, is there a way to or mechanism to increase that? I understand you can stack, but you can't stack 2 silvers.
So I believe you're asking if you can increase. So sorry, I'll just explain how it works. Just so it just answers all your questions at once, I believe. Actually, tell you what, can you just DM me on Discord and I'll be able to explain that to you in depth. I don't think Twitter Space should be for this right now.
Okay, sorry about that. Thanks, guys, for the
No worries. I'll just shoot you a DM in on Twitter right now. I'll just follow you, so we can just give it in depth look.
Okay, thank you.
All right, man. Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, going over tokenomics is like a whole space in itself.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to explain, without much context to, or missing some context to like 300 people. So I'll just do it in DMs. It'll be a lot easier.
Okay, I've invited up Jimmy as well. He should be able to speak.
How we doing, guys? Thanks for hosting the space. I got a question for both of you. My question for SVS was kind of answered earlier already, so I'm going to ask it a different way. I was going to ask for somebody who couldn't afford a vampire, would a recommendation to be to hold a bat? And you guys kind of already answered that, so I was going to ask now, by not holding a vampire, what would I be missing out on versus only holding a bat? And then it's funny you guys were speaking about rap. I I tried to write a little rap in 8 bars in one tweet for Llama's whitelisted. It didn't turn out that great, but hey, I can't remember what I was going to ask Llama, but yeah. So what would I miss out on just holding a bat if I was trying to get it on the SVS community? Thank you.
Yeah, so a bat is, they were companions. So a bat is intended to be more so a companion for a vampire. So at the moment, from what we have like coming up recently, there isn't anything too crazy with the bats. But what it is essentially bats are a good way to generate blood since only vamps and bats do blood. Otherwise, Gen 2 and beyond, there's not going to be any blood staking rewards, or at least for now as we plan. But a bat is also going to play a key part in the breeding. We're referring to breeding as the blood pact. And when during the whole breeding process, a bat is going to be able to play a role in trait carryover for the product, of which the vampire, the male and the female, they create. So a bat is going to come in handy then. And a bat is also coming in handy now with the blood raffles, right, for whitelist spots. So a bat is right now intended to be, complementary to a vampire.
So if I couldn't afford a vampire, which I can't, I saw they're at 0.99. Would you suggest to get a bat, or would you say save up until I could get a vampire?
I mean, I'd say the next, I guess, the way to get into the ecosystem would probably be the female vamps, right? But if you do get a vampire, especially before this upcoming release, you're going to be able to get a female vamp. You're also going to be able to get a pixel vamp and a 3D model. So there's a lot of value in, I guess, getting a vamp now. Especially with the market conditions and all. So I mean, personal suggestion would be to get a vamp, because that's really how you get the most out of it. That's our Genesis collection.
Okay, thank you. I actually remembered my question for Llama. He had said like a real PTE game. I was just wondering what he meant by that. If he could kind of like give an example of like what he sees like as a I don't know what he means by real or good or what he means, but if he could give an example of one that he doesn't think is good and one he does, if he would want to do that. If not, I understand.
Yeah, I can just summarize it briefly. Can you guys hear me? I lost service for like a long time. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not gonna give specific examples, but what I'm saying is like we haven't seen a play to earn game with interfaces like that's really good, other than WW3, which I still think it's in really early stages. So when I say not real play to earn games, I mean games that call themselves play to earn when it's just breeding mechanics over and over again. So that's what I mean by that. Um, if you want to DM me, I can give you some examples of the differences. I'll follow you, and then you can just DM me.
All right, guys. Thank you for your time. I appreciate this.
I think you cut out, right, Llama?
Oh, my back?
It was. I think he was good. It might have been on your end, 2D.
Oh, okay, might have been me.
Maybe we can bring up another person before we, I guess, break it off. Perhaps, right?
Yeah, I've just brought up Holmesy. Yeah, there's still a couple of requests.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, yeah. Like Sean earlier, I was originally drawn to Llamaverse, and I've been a part of the community for a little bit. I wasn't as fortunate to get a whitelist, but I've just been loving what you guys have been doing, and that eventually brought me to SVS, and you guys are clearly projects to be emulated. My question was kind of about the current state of the space. Like in recent days, to me, it's kind of seemed like the Wild West between, monumental contract failures to undocs teams just rugging, especially, even in the past few hours. How do you guys see the space progressing out of these kind of like early growing pains and moving to more of a professional or a more developed space, kind of like the stock exchange now? Do you see teams in the future not being doxxed, or do you see any type of like SEC or government regulations coming in anytime soon to kind of monitor the space, or how do you guys think it might change?
Yeah, so you want to go, Llama? I can just
add on after. Go first.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned that. So for full transparency's sake, the entire SVS team isn't doxxed, which it's a good example to show that a team that isn't doxxed can still operate and successfully run a project. It really depends on, I guess, your track record in per se, like on the internet, right? Because we all come from different spaces, different backgrounds. We do different things. Maybe we did different things before NFTs. We were still on the internet. We still built our profiles. We still built our reputations. So I do think it's possible for teams that aren't doxxed to still participate in the space, right? And what was the second question? It was the negativity. So I do think that, like we mentioned earlier, that all of this is sort of going to get weaved out once this, NFT, almost like a cash grab mentality kind of leaves, right? Because I feel like almost like a lot of people are coming into the scene for the wrong intentions, right? They're wanting to, just make their bag, and then they don't know how they can't fulfill or execute on their project. They don't know how, their intentions aren't to do so. So I do think that, this stuff is going to get kind of weaved out. And also, like Llama mentioned earlier, how like, a majority of the world is still there's like a negative stigma attached to the Web3 space, right? So, I mean, I don't like for probably the foreseeable future, we won't see anything like any sort of government involvement now. But I mean, I don't see why not if we just keep on building out and kind of keep on going. I mean, they're definitely going to want to poke their noses into this, just with the nature of the space and how lucrative it is. So I mean, a lot of it will get kind of weaved out. Like we're still early. I know people say it a lot, but it's true. We are. So these sort of things will just get sort of built out over time, and kind of just get better.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we may not who knows, maybe sometime down the line, maybe some of us might appear at some sort of NFT convention or something and meet some of you guys. So, never really know what will happen in the future, but at the end of the day, we have proven, as most projects these days have proven that, they are here to stay and here to build out more and more of, of our communities.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic question. And it's funny you asked. I tweeted about something like this in the morning today, is that, we can do our best as a community to create awareness of projects, but at the end of the day, like, people need to get burnt by the stove to know not to touch it. So it's just maturing of the market, but I feel like there's some things that we can do now, or maybe some things that may pop up in the future. Two things. One thing is making it. I feel like what's going to happen is an NFT project's going to come out with essentially a DAO, and it's going to be expected from every project. That's what I've noticed. Is like, for example, the markets change really quickly. If a project introduces a token like CyberCons, it's expected for projects like that to have a token, and now it's expected for people to be integrating in Metaverse land. So I feel like, as the buyer, it's a buyer's job to expect certain things. So I seen this project called the Citadel, and what they're doing is they're essentially creating a DAO where all the contracts go to that, and people can choose how functions are used inside their game, and how the team gets paid and stuff like that. So I feel like, buyers are gonna start leaning towards that and prefer to be involved in communities like that as well. But I think there's a massive opportunity for somebody like that's very reputable in the space to create some type of like audit system to where they have like a stamp of approval, and the project can essentially pay this company, if somebody wants to form it. Like, here's a really good idea: is they can full audit the team, full audit the contract, make sure it's bulletproof, full audit the intentions, maybe even manage the funds. So there's a massive opportunity for that. So I just think it's all monumental, or it'll be organically grown to where buyers just expect more out of projects.
Yeah, thank you guys. While the space is going through these kind of sort of growing pains, it's really refreshing to hear you guys each from like differing ends of the spectrum, with SVS being a very successful and trustworthy undocs teams, and you Llama being on sort of the complete other end of the spectrum. I love your streams and seeing you snipe and stuff like that. So love both of you guys' projects, and thanks for answering my question.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
Thanks so much for coming and speak to us. So I think Llama, unfortunately, on our end, I think we got to, on our side, we got to call it.
Yeah, no, we're good. We had a nice talk. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. I was always happy. Thank you guys, especially for having us out here. Sharing the floor and talking to each other's communities, and more than happy to run it back anytime you guys want to and share more stuff with each of us. So, just from guys at SVS, we just want to say thanks. Thank you to both communities, and we'll speak to you guys soon.
Cool, absolutely, yeah. And all my followers, if you guys like my views of projects, definitely go follow SVS. They're right next to me on co-hosts. Click their follow button and turn on post notifications. They're a really strong community with really good intentions. So if you guys are looking for something more real, SVS or Llamaverse are prime examples. So definitely go do some more research. Go follow everybody here on the stage. They're all just reputable people that care about the space. So thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Llama, for the opportunity. I think we actually have to get you on our weekly segment, The Bloodline, where we run it in our server with the Alpha team to get our community sort of involved. So we'll start talking on that as well. Thank you guys very much. It was a good opportunity to speak with everyone today.
Thank you so much for the kind words as well. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Helly, where's my kiss, bro? Where's my goodbye kiss?
Oh, he dipped.
Oh, I tried. All right, later, guys. By the way,
All right.
anybody here? Yeah, later, T. I'll just wrap it up. All right. If anybody here, don't worry. I took screenshots. Like I said, I will be giving whitelist to people that participated. I think we're gonna do 5 whitelist spots. So I screenshotted a bunch of people entering into space, and I'll cross collaborate it with people that liked and retweet the above tweet. So I'm driving right now. I should be at my destination within 2 to 3 hours, and then that's when I'll go ahead and give it out. So trust me, my word's good. If you guys need anything, you can always email me. I respond literally within hours if it's something that I need to respond to. So thank you so much for coming out. I hope everyone stays safe. Please stay safe with all these scams, these rugs going on, and yeah, have a good day. Later, guys.